Okay, this is what will be effectively the final test. This is as bright as I can get it. The camera has to stay on manual, but there's a good reason for that. I'll show you. If I stick it on auto, unfortunately we get all this lot on the screen, which there's nothing I can do about. The only way I can get rid of that lot is effectively to have it on manual, yeah? So that's the way it's going to have to be, otherwise you have to put up with that lot. Right, as far as the sound's concerned, this is about as far away as I can get, so the mics are either picking me up or they're not. And the problem with the darkness in here is me wearing a light shirt and having a pasty white face because I didn't get out in the sun much this year. And the camera homes in on that, leaving the rest of it as background. It's an intelligent camera, it's actually doing what it thinks is the right thing to do. You'll see the difference if I get out of the way. If I'm not in the shot, the camera brightens up what it can see. So, you know, it's me that's the problem. I'll just have to not be in it. That'll be a good live broadcast, won't it? Anyway, I've tried talking with my back to the camera. I've tried moving around while I'm talking, so hopefully the sound can now still be picked up if I do turn my back on the camera. The fans are on, it's pitch dark outside. The alternative is filming in the daylight, which means I can't do the sort of 5 or 6 o'clock broadcast on a Sunday, which would be nice because that would include most of the states then, which is what I want to do. But days will get longer, those times will come, maybe not now, but in the future. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'll grab a plant like I did last time. The camera's a lot farther forward now, it's just inside the grow room. So in theory, if I bring a camera quite close to the plant, oh yeah, that'll work. That's not bad. I mean, the camera, my brain won't work. It's too late for coffee and too early for wine, although it is dark, I suppose. But you can see that plant quite clearly. I think that's plenty good enough for a live broadcast. And that plant's got small blooms. So if it can pick those up, that's great. The downside of having the camera inside the grow room is you don't see quite as much as of the grow room. You know, it is a wide angle lens, but there's only so much I can do. I was just trying to find something with a bigger bloom that's a bit bland and see if we'll pick up the tetragonum and see what it does with that. So I can't find the camera. Not exactly brilliant. Well, there's a leaf in the way of the bloom for a start. Let's turn the other bloom round, the one that's I mean, you can see it. You know, I'm not going to get perfect colour rendering via these lights. Although they're quite good and they're quite close to sunlight, it's not the same as real daylight, you know. I don't think any lights are as good as that. But that's the sort of thing I can do. This will be fun. I wonder what colour it makes of this. I'm not sure what it's doing with that, but you know, I'll have a look at the final video. But the fact that, you know, I'm in this position now, I haven't moved into the lounge to show the plants. They're in the flood of the lights, you know, so I think this might not be too bad. I don't know how loud the fans are going to be. I'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether I've got rid of the voice delay. Possibly, possibly not. But what I have done is I've hardwired the laptop to the internet hub. So it's actually got an Ethernet connection now. It doesn't get any better than that, despite it being 20 feet long, which would be slightly degraded, but better than a Wi-Fi connection through the airwaves, basically, with electrical signals interfering and stuff. So, yeah, that's probably about as good as it gets. And I'll review this and see what I come up with. As I say, the alternative to get it an awful lot better is to film in the daylight. That way it won't make much difference if the camera's set back a bit. But I'll see how I go, and we'll see what this one looks like. But it is probably about as good as it's going to get. Remains to be seen, but I've got no plans on doing a live broadcast this year. It's going to be into next year before I even think about it. So I've got time to, but I don't. There are no more settings I can play with. I've got the delay down to the lowest possible value, and unfortunately, using the game capture card that I've got, it has an inbuilt software delay, because it's basically taking an HDMI signal and converting it through software and hardware to a USB signal, and that's the delay. I can't take that away effectively. I just can't get rid of it. That's as good as it gets. And obviously with a hardwired internet there should be no breaks in the internet connection, no stalling, none of those sort of jerky bits, unless I go really quick like that. That'll mess it up. But yeah, I think that's probably about as good as it gets if I'm going to film in the dark, and it would be considerably better if I filmed in the daylight, but those times will come. For the moment, this is probably about as good as it gets. And quite honestly, for a live broadcast chat and looking at a couple of plants, it's probably okay. Right, we'll see where we go with that. Now what I've got to do is work out how to turn it off again.